Hi, gang. I'm Mack Newton. Welcome to the Power Hour. Well, we're finally going to do it. We're going to have a show dedicated to the 3-2 eating plan like we've been promising for months. We're going to tell you all about it, what it is, how it works. We're going to tell you about the relationship of water in the 3-2 eating plan. And for those of you who've never seen a Mack shake, we're going to make one live on our show. And we're going to go out on location to the fish market out on 18th Street in Camelback, where they've got a special 3-2 recipe or menu for those of you who want to be eating 3-2 and still go out. And of course, our stars of the week, which is to make sure that Beverly is happy because she did not like the fact that I said, Beverly, you are my hero. You are my hero. And then we started calling all of our guests our hero of the week. And poor Beverly, she didn't like it, so her feelings were hurt. So now we're going to call all of our guests my stars of the week. See there, Bevy? Loves you. Who loves you, girl? Okay. And for those of you who have tried the 3-2 plan and failed, I've got a special story for you that you might like to hear. It goes back to my days with the Oakland A's. I remember having a conversation with Dennis Eckersley, and a bunch of players were all sitting around and, you know, swapping tall tales. And I came out and I said, you know, I'd be willing to bet you that I could get a hit off of Dave Stewart. Now, for those of you who don't know, Dave Stewart was our star pitcher at the time, probably throwing maybe 96, 97 miles an hour on a good day. Well, I said I could get a hit off of Dave Stewart before I would strike out. Well, Dennis jumped at that. He said, there's no way you could get a hit before you strike out. I said, I bet you I can. In fact, I bet you $100. He snapped it up. So, talked to Dave, and the whole deal was set. I put on my batting helmet, got my gloves, snapped them all up, got my bat, and I'm out there in the main field, batting cage. Everyone's standing around. Well, Dave gets ready. First pitch comes in. Whoosh, I would say about 95 miles an hour. I could hear it hiss as I was trying to swing. It wasn't very good. Strike one, okay? Now, second pitch comes in. I'm really gearing up to go faster this time. I think I may have nicked it, but I'm not quite sure. Strike two. And then finally, in just a show of total disdain for my abilities as a batter, the third pitch comes in even faster. Zoom, I wasn't even close. Strike three. Well, Dennis is jumping up and down, screaming, yelling, ha, I got you. I won bet. I said, you haven't won anything. He says, well, hey, man, you struck out. I said, no, I haven't. Yes, in the game of baseball, you get 3 strikes. I said, Dennis, in my game, I can swing as long as I want. And I'm never out until I leave the batter's box. And I stayed in there, and I kept swinging. And it took maybe another 20 or 30 swings. But I did get a hit off of Dave Stewart, and I won my $100. True story. But it has a meaning for you guys who've tried the 3-2 and failed. Get back in the box. The game is not over, and you're not out on strikes until you decide the game is over, until you give up. Just because you failed once is no sign that you have to feel that the game is over for you. Okay, we've got a special show on tap for you. And by the way, there's no self-defense day, but we will be back to I Will Fight Back next week with a very special program and a very special segment. So you guys stay tuned. And I and John Cannon will be right back on the Power Hour. Hey, gang, and welcome back to the Power Hour. I'm Mack Newton, and this is the San Francisco Flash himself, John Cannon. Welcome back to the Valley, JC.
It's nice to be back.
Is it?
First time as a non-resident.
Well,
how about that?
Okay, well, I mean, being back in the Valley, you get a chance to get some real weather for a change.
It is. But, you know, I kind of missed the baseball playoffs because I was enjoying that up there.
Oh, yeah? Okay, yeah. That's kind of cool. Well, you know, at least you can look forward to a basketball season.
Oh, the Warriors. Ooh, scary.
Oh, real bad.
Scary bad.
Okay, enough of that because I have no ammunition. Next thing he'll bring up is our football team.
Neither of us are talking in football right now.
Okay, all right. Glad this is not a sports show, huh, JC?
We got a stadium. I'm sorry.
Oh, I knew you'd have to go there. Well, if we could get a site to put it. Well, anyway, that's another story.
Okay.
All righty, gang. Welcome to the Power Hour, and we're going to live up to our promise. We've got a whole show dedicated all about and around what constitutes the 3-2 eating plan.
Absolutely.
The 3-2 eating plan is a simple plan. It's about 3 things you can eat and 2 things you can drink.
Now, folks, VCRs.
Thank you, JC. Appreciate
because, I mean, for those of you that were really early birds with this show, that were in at the very top, You've seen this. We did this in probably week 4 or 5, something along those lines. But if you haven't, you may have heard references here and there to the 3-2. This is a fantastic way to eat. And
That's
you
why
want to be rolling the VCR to get all of this.
That's why we call it an eating plan as opposed to calling it a diet. You see, diets do not work. Diets are about restricting one or several things that you cannot eat. We're not going to do that here. We're going to focus on what you can eat. The 3-2 is about what you can eat and not about what you can't. So here it is, 3-2. Number 1 on the 3-2 eating plan is lean source protein. Baked, broiled, or grilled. As much of it as you want. In spite of what you've heard, you can eat as much of it as you want. Number 2 on our hit parade, green vegetables. Baked, broiled, grilled, steamed, any way you want to cook them as long as you don't fry them. Green vegetables, as much of it as you want, in combination, in any way you want. And finally, fruit, which I usually suggest that people eat in moderation, okay? And of course, the 2 refers to the 2 things you can drink. That's fresh, clear, still water, and fruit juice, again, in moderation. That is basically the 3-2. Now, how does it really work? Again, it's not a diet. It's based on what you can eat. You can eat lean source protein, green vegetables, and fruit. That encompasses an incredible area. Later on, we're going to go out in the fish market, and you're going to see exactly how large that is. Most people are focusing on the things that they cannot eat. Earlier, you said, Mac, I can't wait for this segment. I got some questions
I
for
do.
you.
I was listening to Andrew Weil, who's a diet doc that's got a book, a bunch of books out, and he was on the radio. And he was talking about the portions that we eat in this country, and including things like steak. And I thought, as soon as I heard that, I thought, I got to ask Mac what he thinks about this. That he feels like if you go to a restaurant and you order a steak, the slab of meat that they bring you is just more than we need to eat.
Well, you speak for yourself. It's not more than I need to eat. I don't know what this guy is. Maybe he's on a diet, but I need more of it. Don't listen to him out there, you restaurant owners. You keep it coming. I can double up on it. And so can all of our 3-2 guys. This guy's out in the limb someplace. All right, let me just try to answer that question.
I'm glad you handled it well.
Okay. All right.
Mr. 2 orders of ribs at Don and Charlie's.
2, that's exactly. Don't forget
And
the
1 to
chicken.
go.
That's right. Don't forget the chicken, too. Okay. Well, what Dr. Weil is talking about is the people who are sedentary for the most part or exercising little or at all. When you're exercising 4 or 5 times a week, as you should be when you're on a 3-2 eating plan, even something as simple as walking or riding a stationary bike, within a very short time, you're going to be burning fat for energy, JC. And that's a key element. You're burning fat for energy, and your body knows what to do with that. It knows what to do with the meat. It doesn't know what to do with bread, croutons, crackers, gravy. It doesn't know what to do necessarily with the corn and potatoes. Butter. It doesn't know what to do with that. Those carbohydrates, it doesn't know what to do with. And yes, you can easily get too much of that. But as far as the meat, I'll tell you what happens to it. When you get too much of it, your body converts it into urea, and it excretes it out of your body, if you want to know scientifically what happens, but that's what goes on with it. So I say again, eat as much of the lean source protein as you want, but it's lean source protein, not processed meat. Okay?
And Matt could talk to you for hours about the things that people have tried to tell him for lean source protein.
It's a scary thought.
Yeah.
It's a scary thought.
Now, I do have another question, though, and it revolves around vegetables. There could be viewers here watching who love carrots or love cauliflower, and they think, okay, I'm dialed in for this 3-2, and now you've said you can only eat vegetables that are green.
Right.
What's that about?
It keeps it simple. It's green. You can eat it. If it's not green, you can't eat it. You can get all the nutrients from something that's green that you would get from anything that's a different color. It's there in the green vegetables. It keeps it simple for you. You don't have to figure, well, see, I can only eat 2 pieces of that. And this is not about counting calories. It's not about counting fat grams. It's about eating as much as you want and keeping it simple. It will work. It's very, very easy to do. And the vegetable thing, you know, when you go, in fact, the ancient Egyptians were so sophisticated in mummification that even though it's thousands of years ago, we've been able to find out that their bodies work virtually exactly the same as ours. And we're also able to see that ancient Egyptians, even though they in fact, they almost ate no red meat at all. Almost all vegetables, all carbohydrates, potatoes, okay, corn,
wheat,
okay, and wheat and things like that. And we can see they had high incidence of heart disease, and they were obese people. weak joints, and we were able to see this because of the way the mummification of the mummies and so forth. So that way of eating would be considered by today's standards healthy.
Right.
But however, that's the way to get you dead.
We only have about a minute.
Maybe a minute and a half.
But I got to throw the B word out there.
Whoa.
Because nowhere on the 3 or the 2 does the word bread show up. And people are out there going, hey, what about my bread?
What about the bread? There's no bread on the 3 to 2. I'm not about to get into another discussion about that. I'm sure you guys that have been here long enough, don't ask me, what do you put on your sandwich? Hey, instead of bread, use lettuce. Put whatever's between the bread in there, between the lettuce, eat that. Or just put it on the plate, chop it up. Stop eating bread out there. You know it doesn't work. You know it doesn't work. Why don't you just admit it? You've been treating yourself like you're an animal getting fatted up for slaughter, so just stop it. Stop it right now and quit playing around with it. I'm telling you, if you need someone to give you permission, I'm the one doing it for you right now. Stop eating bread. That stuff is killing you. It is, okay, I'm calming down. Don't eat bread. Wow.
Okay, now, breakfast.
Breakfast. Now, we're going to have to...
You talk about bread. There's 19 different ways you can eat bread for breakfast.
You know what? And one of the worst is muffins. That's nothing but it's used to eat cake for breakfast. And I'm going to show you a way that you can avoid all this, because JC pointed out something very clearly to me, that breakfast is one of the most dangerous times of the day. And the Mack shake, we're going to make one right here on our stage. It's our show. We can do it.
The Mack shake will change your life.
That will change your life, and we're going to do it right after this break. So you stay tuned to the Power Hour. Hey, gang. Welcome back to the Power Hour. This is going to be your favorite segment, no question about it. We're going to show you how to avoid those 19 ways of eating breakfast that JC talked about before the break. What you see in...
Well, it's the big thing, Mac. It's not only do you have bagels and toast and everything else, but eggs and sausage. I mean, a lot of breakfast food, cereal, is just not... It's not on the 3-2. Let's just say that.
It's scary to think about the stuff that people eat for breakfast. I mean, they eat saturated fat. They eat a lot of carbohydrates, bread, empty carbohydrates. I mean, your body doesn't even know what to do with that. In fact, once you get on the 3-2, JC, this is a good point. And once you get on it, you're going to lose your first 3 or 4 pounds just by emptying out all the carbohydrates, empty carbohydrates that's undigested in your gallbladder and in your lower intestines. So you can lose up to 3 and 4 pounds just like that, even before it takes effect. Now, one thing I forgot to mention is that in conjunction with the 3-2, I do recommend a very strict workout plan. You don't have to go to a health club. You don't need to buy any expensive equipment. You just go out walking on the canal and in your neighborhood for 45-minute segments or even 15-minute segments. If you're first starting out, let's say you haven't done it in a long time, 15-minute segments, as fast as you can, a strict 3-2. And I should mention that the strict 3-2 is for people who are 20 or more pounds overweight. If you're under, let's say you're at your normal weight, you just want to get a better eating plan, eat just like this, but you can eat different colored vegetables as well. And you can have potato or rice once a week, all right? And you can also have an alcoholic beverage if you are of legal age, of course. One a day, but it doesn't accumulate.
They don't accumulate.
That's called the 3-2 platform. That's for someone who has reached their target weight. And then, of course, after 2 years of doing that, your body, you will have totally changed all of your habits as far as eating is concerned, and you'll be able to eat anything you want. But you won't want to go back to eat the way you did before. All right. Now, to the breakfast. The things you see in front of you, this comprises what we call the Mack shake. Now, I've been drinking this, eating it, however you want to call it, for over 25 years. And it came to my attention that for exactly the reasons that JC brought up, breakfast is a nasty thing, man. I just can't see how you eat that stuff. It's terrible. I mean, it's terrible.
And it's your day start. I mean, here you are trying to get off on a good start, and maybe you decided, okay, I'm going to try this new eating plan, and right out of the chute, you're in trouble.
And couple all that stuff with a couple glasses of a couple cups of coffee on top of it, and now you're ready to start your day. You clog your veins with all that fat and carbohydrates, and then you try to jumpstart your brain with 2 or 3 cups of coffee. You're ready to go to work. Oh yeah, you're going to be a good employee. Okay, here's how we get it started. The Mack shake consists of orange juice, banana, pears, and an apple. In this amount, 16 ounces of orange juice. We're using the type with calcium, because the 3-2 You can eat 3 things, lean source of protein, green vegetables, and fruit, and you can drink 2 things, water and juice. No milk. No dairy on the 3-2. Sorry, gang. In fact, milk will get me going, so we won't even get started on the milk, all right?
We just got it done with bread.
All right? Just calm me down from that. Just toweled off. Don't get me started with milk. Just don't do it. Milk is not a good thing. It is not a good thing. Stop eating it. Okay, we want to have half an apple, half of a pear, and a whole banana. And as you can see, what we've done is use a little coring device like this, a little device here to, okay, there you go. And I'm going to show you how to core this. You just kind of put it down there, and you just press on it, and voila, you can get your coring done. And you take half of that, 4 slices of apple, and 4 slices of pear, as JC is doing right now, and you dump it into the 16 ounces of orange juice, peel your banana.
Now, a frozen banana is a great part of this.
After you peel this, guys.
Yeah, that's important. Don't freeze it until after you peel it.
Guys they will freeze the thing in the peel.
And then wonder why they can't get it out.
And you can't get it off.
Yeah.
Guys, peel the banana, and then you can freeze it. Man, it turns it into a delicious frozen slushie that you will like a lot. Okay, we got a cover for that thing now, JC?
Right here.
Okay, now what you want to do is you want to mix that up. We want to turn it on and get the mixing thing going here, if we can get that rolling. So, okay, we got it rolling, JC? We got it rolling.
You roll it. I'll push it.
All right, it's our mixer is really working for us here.
Lift it a little bit. Try that. We got this.
Okay. Does anyone understand how this thing works? All right, we have a defective blender. Do you guys get the idea? You got 16 ounces of orange juice. You got half an apple. You got half a pear because I wanted to drink that.
I was hungry.
And you got the banana. And the frozen banana, it's all in there.
Such a good idea at the time.
Doesn't it look good? Don't you just want to drink this up? Well, actually, what you really want to do is you want to mix it up completely and drink it down. This is breakfast. You know what's going to happen?
24 ounces.
No, it makes 30. It actually makes about 32 ounces.
Oh, does it? Okay.
Makes 32 ounces. It's about 440 calories. You start your day with it every day. Now, let's say you can't drink all of it. Drink half of it. Put it in the freezer, cover it up because it'll look bad, and save it till the night. This will knock out sugar cravings, and it's great to start your day with. It smells good just sitting there. So the Mack shake is, and you know what else too? It's also habit forming. You will get addicted to this thing.
Right, and it's a great base, and I do much better with my eating when I have a Mack shake to start with on the day than I do with all my traveling and stuff. I haven't always been able to, but I always tried to. Even in San Diego in a hotel, I brought a blender and I'm making Mack shakes. Now I know you want to talk about water.
Right, that's exactly right. Okay, now this is the way you start your day. You drink this down. I also consider it part of a meal. An interesting book has been brought to my attention. Your Body's Many Cries for Water. Very controversial statement on the front cover, JC. You are not sick. You are thirsty. This is written by a doctor whose name I cannot pronounce. We'll call him Dr. B. Dr. B writes a book that says you are not sick, you are thirsty. And I agree with many of the things that he says, particularly after reading the latest issue of Health and Healing that's put out by Dr. Julian Whitaker in Newport Beach, California, where he echoes many of the statements of Dr. B by saying, drink more water. You know how much water you have to drink, Jason? Do you know when you are truly hydrated, how you can tell by your body?
Your urine is clear.
Yeah, it's clear and odorless. Dr. B says dehydration could be the root cause of disease, not just to illness, but disease itself, and that a lot of the things make an incredible amount of sense. In fact, Dr. Whitaker decided to test Dr. B's theory at his institute, and he initiated a standard recommendation to his patients to drink a minimum of 10 to 12 glasses of water per day. Wow. And he went on to say that he's found that his patients improve dramatically in all sorts of ways in terms of being well. So in other words, drink more water, drink the Mack shake to start your day, to get off the bread. Don't even think about drinking milk. And we'll be... And
you're going to meet a couple of people on this program who have used this to great results.
And you will be amazed. We got our Stars of the Week coming up to greet us right after this. So you stay tuned to the Power Hour. Welcome back, everybody, to the Power Hour. You know, I hope this makes Beverly happy, that now, instead of saying my hero of the week, my special star of the week, in this case, my stars of the week. Let me tell you a little bit about my star of the week today. Dave, over the last, year, 12, 14 months, has lost 110 pounds. 70 in less than a year. Gail has lost 22 pounds over the same time frame. She didn't need to lose very much. The real reason they came to see me is that Gail had a bad back. In fact, she had a herniated disc. I guessed early on, by the way she was walking, that she'd had a traumatic accident somewhere, you know, around, and I guessed maybe in her early 20s. I guess I was right, too. And Dave came because he'd actually had surgery on both knees, and he also had a sore back as well. I want to welcome to the Power Hour to Dave and Gail. And Dave, we call you Big Dog, so don't, you know, we call Dave Big Dog. Understand why. We're not insulting him. That's his name. Why did you have that name, by the way?
Well, when I started working out, I started wearing Big Dog shirts, and I kept wearing them almost every day, and the moniker just stayed with me.
Just stuck with you.
No longer Big Dog, though.
Well, no longer Big Dog, not quite so big. Well, Big Dog, welcome to the Power Hour, and Gail, welcome aboard, and good to have you. Now, you know, before we get into it, I gotta tell you something else about these two here. Gail has never, ever in her life done anything like working out with me. I mean, but she is such a wonderful person, and she's so sincere, and she wants to do the right thing all the time, and she works so very, very hard. She's never, ever worked out like this. And that's one of the reasons I wanted her to come on the show. I wanted her to come on so that some of you guys that are out there in your 40s or your 50s, or like Gail in her 60s, and you might think, well, gee whiz, if she can do it, I can do it. How's the back doing now, Gail?
Oh, it's wonderful. I went from having chronic pain to having to remember to be very careful to bend correctly and so on, which you remind me of all the time, to trigger the pain. But before that, it was so chronic that I was constantly aware of it. And I was always trying to find pillows to sit and pillows to lay. And working with you for a year now, I've come such a long way.
So you came more for your back as opposed to your weight.
Yes.
Okay. How long did it take to get some results with the back?
It happened over a relatively short period of time. I noticed right early on that I was able to do things without help that I had to have help with before. So I would say within the first 2 or 3 months, I felt like I was chronic pain-free.
In about the first 3 months.
Yeah.
Do you think that losing the 20 pounds had anything to do with it as well?
I think it helped, but I think strengthening the abdominal muscles and the muscles that serve to support the back area that was my problem made it stronger. And I just think all those things working together.
Well, your doctor, Dr. Randy Whitmire, who referred Dave and Gail Byrne to come to me, is a firm believer that you need to have strong muscles to support your structural anatomy, you know, and if you've got abnormalities in your structural anatomy, sometimes, you know, you can get them adjusted and get everything aligned perfectly, but unless your muscles are strong and well balanced themselves, you're not going to it's not going to stay there, and you won't be pain-free for long. I mean, you might be pain-free for short periods of time. But Dave, in your case, it was strictly a matter of you needing to just simply get some weight off of your knees and back, huh?
It really helped tremendously.
Really?
Really helped tremendously. I'm now able to walk for literally miles and do hiking, where before all I would do is take a few steps and I'd be huffing and puffing.
How much do you weigh now?
Now I'm down to 200.
200 pounds. So you weighed 270, actually all close to 300 when you first started with me.
I sure did. What a great feeling. What a great feeling.
That's what I was going to ask you. What does that feel like to go from 300? Maybe I should ask Gail, what is it like to go from someone, to live with someone who now weighs 200 pounds, going down still, who used to weigh 300 pounds? What's it like?
Well, when you see some of the old clothes, which we've gotten rid of, by the way, and you realize that's where you came from, he will even say, oh, what was I thinking, you know.
But you woke up one day, or was it the back and the knees, or did you just see yourself in the mirror? What was it that made you want to come in and do this?
Well, Gail occasionally would encourage me. And I'm sure you can appreciate that.
Yes,
yeah.
I can. His sweet little smiling face. I can't imagine her doing it.
But the reality was, I knew I needed to. I had high blood pressure. I was on medication. I wasn't feeling good. I was sweating all the time. I got tired of going to the big men's shop to buy the big clothes.
Let's go back to the medication a little bit. You were on high blood pressure medication?
Yes, I was.
To control that. Are you still there?
No. Doctor took me totally off blood pressure medication. My blood pressure now runs around 120 over 68. My pulse, which used to be in the mid-90s, is now in the high 60s. And what a feeling. I don't sit and perspire all the time like I used to. My clothes last longer. Although they really, over the last year or so, they really haven't lasted very long. I keep buying clothes in a smaller size and having to get rid of them and buy smaller sizes and get rid of them. And just to recycle.
Comparing the two things, which one would you rather do?
Oh, no question.
No question
I now have choices. Yeah.
Well, you say you had choices. Before you felt you didn't have a choice?
Well, when it comes to clothes.
Yeah.
You had to go into the big men's shop and take from their selection of 2 or 3 items, take it or leave it. Now I can go into any department store in town and find something.
Now, for you to lose 70 pounds, what kind of changes do you have to make in how you eat? What did you have to do?
Well, first thing, I got my head set. Said, this is something I choose to do for myself. And that's really one of the keys. Once I made that decision, I've learned to eat the healthy 3-2 lifestyle. Basically, I eat lots of lean protein, lots of green vegetables, a little bit of fruit, lots of water, a little bit of juice. And I just do that 24/7, whenever possible.
And you just keep going down, down, down. Gail, if you want to give us some advice, we've got about a little less than a minute left. If you want to give some advice to someone who's watching, who might be in their 50s or 60s, and they've been struggling with 20 or 30 pounds, or like in his case, 50 or 70 or 100 pounds, what bit of advice would you give them to get their life under control?
Well, help you to make the best of whatever time you have left. Because I said to David at one time, you know, enough is enough. We're at the point where we can start traveling and enjoying life. But we're hindered by this. We're not healthy. And now, I mean, we just came from a trip to Africa in May. We had a wonderful 3-week vacation. We're planning another one to South America next year. We're going hiking now. We're starting to do some of the things that I enjoy, being physically active. And now I have a partner. So,
in other words, get a life.
Get a life.
Wow, thanks a lot. It's been wonderful having you guys as guests on the show. When we come back, we are going to the fish market on Camelback Road in Phoenix. Another one of the Mack Newton 3-2 outlets. Stay tuned for it. We'll be right back with the Power Hour. Hey gang, and welcome back. As you can see, we're on location again. Where are we? We're at the fish market on Camelback Road. The fish market. We don't just make promises to you. Not on the Power Hour. We deliver. Yes, we're bringing to you another restaurant that is 3-2 compliant. You know the 3-2. All the fresh vegetables you can eat and all the lean source protein. Lean source protein, fish. You can get it here. And of course, fruit. All right, the fish market is now what we call 3-2 compliant. In other words, they have a menu, and what a menu it is for people who are eating on the 3-2. Now, as you can see, I'm standing at their fresh fish counter, where not only can you eat it you can actually take it home. And I'm standing with Mr. Darryl Harlow, who's the assistant general manager. How you doing, Dale?
Very good, thank you.
Good to meet you.
Welcome.
You know, you've got all these different varieties, but are these the only kinds of fresh fish that's available to take home at the fish market?
No, sir, Mac. We're a little limited on our space, the availability we can put out here to show our guests. Anything that's available on the menu is available to go.
Oh, I see.
We have 13 different varieties of fresh fish today that you can take out of the restaurant to cook at home.
Okay, now when you say fresh fish, I saw a sign on the way in that said fish market fresh means that it's never been frozen. Now, as a consumer, if I'm buying fish, how can I tell if the fish that I buy is fresh?
Well, you're going to have to build up a relationship with your purveyor, I would say. You're going to have to build some sort of a trust that you would know that the individual behind the counter that's serving your product to you is serving you something in what it is. Fresh seafood to us means it's never been frozen. Everything you see with the fresh sticker out here complies with that. The only thing that we would have out here in our case today that wouldn't be fresh, previously frozen, would be our New Zealand orange roughy.
I see. Now, you know, fish is excellent to eat on the 3-2, and you get as much of it as you want. I know you've got a lot of experience in dealing with people, buying fish, serving it, cooking it up. In your experience, for someone like me or a viewer, what one piece of advice would you give me for buying fish in a grocery market or at a fish market?
Well, you would probably want to look at a place that does some volume. You know, seafood doesn't last for a long time. You usually have 2 to 3 days in which you can market that product in order to keep it fresh, and then you need to make a decision if you're going to pop it in the freezer or you're going to throw it away. One of the two. So volume is something that we have no problem with at the fish market. Excuse me.
I know that's true. Well, we got 2 things that we want to focus on. Number one, you want to build up a rapport with your supplier, with the person who's handling and supplying you the fish. Number 2, make sure you're dealing with a place that does a lot of fish. Okay, now we know at the fish market they can cook it up right and they can serve it up right. Let's go up to the top of the market and see exactly how it's done. Okay, gang, now as you can see, we're in the kitchen, one of my favorite places, at the top of the market. And with me again, of course, Dale Harlow, Assistant General Manager here at the fish market. Hey, you know the 3-2 works, gang. I mean, you saw how it worked with Dave and Gail. I mean, 70 pounds and 20 pounds respectively. This is one of the ways they did it. You know, you want to be able to eat out without guilt. And we have now a 3-2 client restaurant that's doing it right. The fish market on Camelback. All right, so what are we going to cook up today, Dale? What do we got going?
We're going to start off with a little Catalina swordfish and some longline, salmon.
Okay, you already got that on the grill over here.
Yep, we're working it already.
Okay, now I think, how'd you prepare that for cooking?
Well, we just brush it lightly with a little olive oil.
Okay.
The oil is just there to help it stay free from the grill itself.
Okay.
All right.
Now, if you notice on the menu, if you look at the menu here at the fish market, you'll notice that you can get that salmon either steamed or you can get it grilled here on the grill. So a lot of flexibility. So even for you guys who are on the 3-2 platform, we've got some special menu items for you, items that are cooked in white wine and very, very special. Okay, we got the salmon going, we got the swordfish going. What else we got cooking up?
We're going to try some large sea scallops here. We're going to saute them up in a little garlic, white wine, and some olive oil.
Dale, did they tell you that we're going to sample this? We're going to eat this a little bit later?
We'll be good to go.
Oh,
you'll be loving it.
Talking about. I tell you.
All right.
Ain't nothing like having your own show. Okay.
All right.
Let's see what we got going here. Okay, so you're gonna saute this, right?
Correct, sir.
Okay, and these are the sea scallops.
Exactly.
Okay, let's rock and roll. How do we do it?
All right. Well, the key to sautéing is you want to start off always with a nice hot pan. Get a good sear to start off with, okay? So we're going to get going with a little bit of our olive oil.
Remember that, gang, get your pan nice and hot.
That's right.
He's going to get a little olive oil in that pan.
Okay.
Nice and hot so you can get a good sear. Good sear. You know, you see, you have to have the language right, the sear point right off bat.
All right.
Okay.
And as you can hear them going in there.
As soon as he puts them in, they start to. I smell some garlic. You got some garlic in there too?
We got a little fresh garlic. It's not quite in there yet, but you're aromas that fresh garlic.
Okay. All righty.
All right.
Okay.
All right. We'll let these toss around just a little bit.
Ah.
All right.
Now, see, our producer, Steve Murphy, he's been watching all these techniques. He's taking all this stuff home and flipping food up, you know. Kids are wondering what's going on, but then
There's a fire.
There's a fire. Help him. Dad, call the fire department.
We got it.
Okay.
These cook along a little bit. I'm going to go back and rotate our
All
salmon
right.
and our swordfish
now,
in a
while
second.
Dale is doing that, let me kind of bring you up on where we are. We got some swordfish, Catalina swordfish going on down there. And then we've also got some grilled salmon being cooked. And we've got, I think, served with that, he's got some steamed asparagus and some broccoli, which he's probably going to saute a little bit for us as well. That's all part of the 3-2. Can you believe it? Wow, this is just amazing. I'm loving this. That's smelling so good. I don't know if we're going to have enough for everybody to sample these, but that's okay. I haven't had lunch yet, so. Woo, boy.
All right, we're rolling.
Okay.
Okay, excuse me. We're going to grab a little bit of white wine.
Okay, now don't forget, now the white wine is not on a strict 3-2. This is the platform. So we got the white wine going.
Hey, and just a little dollop of freshly minced garlic, okay?
Freshly minced garlic.
Okay, as the garlic goes
A dollop. A dollop is just a tad more than a, you know.
a large spoonful.
Right, okay, he's got that going. Wow, I love this.
You can see the scallops changing color as they go on. They're a very opaque color to start off with. And as they cook through, they're going to be a nice white color through and
Did
through.
you see that, gang? He started off with some olive oil and got that really hot. Got them seared real nice. And then he went with a dollop of...
Freshly minced garlic.
Okay.
You got it.
All right.
All right.
Wow, now he's going to put the wine in there. Check that out.
Little bit.
Oh, wow.
And that wine will reduce down to almost
Oh, I wish
nothing
we
as
had
it goes
smell-o-vision. Smell-o-vision. This is really, really great. Hey, listen, don't go away. We're going to be right back at the top of the market, at the fish market, right after this. Okay, welcome back, gang. As you can see, we are still in the kitchen, and the scallops are still on the grill. I hope you didn't go anywhere. If you did, you probably went to get something to eat because this is making you hungry. Oh, by the way, if you want to go out right after the show, then come down to the fish market. You'll probably see me because all these things are ready and available right now. Okay, how are we doing so far, Dale?
We just got another minute or so to go on our sea scallops, but I would tell you that...
Okay, let's go back down here and see what we got.
I would tell you
down
that
here.
our fish is ready to roll.
Okay, the fish is ready
All
to
right.
go. We've got, as you can see over here on the right, the lighter fish. That's our swordfish, right?
Correct.
That's the swordfish. And then the salmon is over there. You can see it's got that nice pink color. And you can see the nice grill, you know, the lines from the grill. That looks delicious. Okay, what's next? Where do we go from here?
Okay, we're going to go ahead and get our veggies ready to roll for us. As we said, we have some steamed asparagus and some steamed broccoli, okay?
All right.
I'm going to reduce the heat a little bit on our scallops, and we're going to kick over to get 2 more pans going. We've already blanched the asparagus and broccoli slightly, so they're a little bit pre-cooked to expedite the process here. Just a
Okay,
little bit.
so
All right?
you sort of steam those a little bit
Just
already?
a little bit,
Just
yeah.
a little bit.
Just so
But
we
you
can-
can do the same process fresh, right?
Exactly.
Okay,
Right off
everything
the-
here at the fish market is fresh.
You bet.
And by the way, for those of you who don't know, fresh means that this fish has never, ever been frozen. And as Dale gave you downstairs some good pointers, always get to know your grocer and always do business with someone who has lots of experience working with fish so you get fresh fish, because this industry, you know, you've read some of the stories about some of the, you know, things going on where people are replacing and trying to sell you frozen fish for fresh and, you know, even sell you fish that was farmed as for ocean fish. So anyway, go to a reputable place like the fish market. Okay,
Yes, sir.
where are we?
All right. About ready to
Okay, we got the
Apply our
asparagus
asparagus.
going in. My favorite, by the way.
boom.
Oh,
Going in
yeah, we
there.
got this.
Ready to go.
And you went with just olive oil in there, huh?
This is just a little bit of water to start off with, and now we're going to give it a little bit of...
So he just put water in the pan real hot and got that
Yep,
going.
and we got a little bit of olive oil going in for
And
the
now
moment.
he's got a little olive oil going in
It's going to
with
give
the
you a little
water.
flavor.
Did you guys know you could do that? I didn't know you could do that. And now he's got the broccoli going in there.
All right.
Don't you love the way they do the pan thing, you know? There's a flip it up. Love all that stuff going on.
All right.
And by the way, if you're wondering how they get to choose these things, I did it. You know what? And if you don't like the segments, get your own show. I told you before. Get your own show. I'm going to eat this stuff up right now. Okay.
All right.
Ooh, now what was that you put on there?
Just
huh?
a little bit of parsley, give it a
Little
little bit of color.
A little bit of
Gives
color.
a little flavor also.
Okay, all right. I like to stay up on
All
what's
right.
going on here.
All right.
All right. This is looking good, smelling good.
Got lots of nice color going on there.
Oh, my goodness.
All right.
Mmm. Okay, we got salmon, we've got scallops, we've got the asparagus, we've got broccoli going. This is strict 3-2, gang. Does this look good enough for you? And if you wanted to, you could have also put a little garlic on that with
Yes,
olive
sir.
oil.
Why don't we go ahead and
give
throw a
it
little in there?
And give it an entirely different flavor.
We'll just put a little bit
You
in there.
didn't know
for
the
Matt.
Mac Daddy had that going
All
on,
right.
did you?
That's
you
right.
know, you didn't know I had that little cooking little flavor going on for myself. So you gonna put a little garlic in there, you know? Okay.
All right.
All right. There.
I think we should be about ready to eat, man.
I think we're ready to eat. How about you guys at home? Are you ready to eat too? If you're not, you should be. Don't forget Fish Market, Camelback Road, about 18th Street. You can't miss it. All right. Okay, we're just about ready to. How are we going to serve that up now?
Plate it up?
Okay, let's plate this thing up and
You
get
got
ready
it.
to rock and roll. Let me get out of your way.
I'm going to start it off with, excuse me, I'm going to grab these 2 plates
Okay,
here.
got the plates here.
All right. Once again, start off with the Cataline harpoon swordfish.
Notice he takes that off the grill with a spatula, okay? Go ahead.
Yeah,
Try it.
fish can be delicate.
Okay, you don't want that stuff falling all apart.
That's right.
Now use a nice spatula. Oh, that's mine right there.
There we
yes,
go.
it is. Did you hear that, Steve Murphy? The salmon is the Mack Daddies. Woo,
All
that's
right.
looking good. Oh, my goodness.
I'll roll over here and we'll throw some fresh
Okay,
veggies on here
all right,
also.
okay. We've got the veggies coming off of there.
Okay.
Oh, my. Yes.
You can smell that.
Oh, a little garlic.
We'll give Mac a little garlic on top there for him.
Oh,
Excuse me. And now we're going to run back
Is
over
that
one more
like
time.
looking good?
And we got our fresh steamed
Broccoli.
broccoli. You got it.
You know what? You know, you can, oh my goodness. Yeah, a little broccoli. Ooh, we
There
haven't
you
left,
go.
we can put, oh yeah.
Pour a little bit of our oil, on our little oil sauce and white one. There we go. We're
Yeah.
ready. We're good to go.
Good go. You see what we're talking about here, gang? You see what we're talking about? Okay, now you know what we're gonna do? All right. Since that's looking so good, the Mac Daddy's lips are starting to salivate just a little bit. We're gonna go out and sit on the terrace and eat some of that.
All right, Mac. Got our sea scallops ready to go.
Oh, does it get any better than this? Well, thank you very much,
It's
Dale.
my pleasure, sir.
I tell you, this just looks magnificent. I don't know what to eat first. Do you have any suggestions for
I
me?
think you're good to go with anything you do out there.
Well, let me just give a try now to this salmon here and see what we think about that. Does this just look like something out of a magazine or something? Let's just see what we've got here. All right.
It's our pleasure.
Yes, you can get this and so many other things on the 3-2 menu, okay, at the fish market. They have done it right. I mean, this is just magnificent. Wow. Over here is the, let me try a little bit of this.
Catalina swordfish?
Oh, Catalina swordfish. I have to try some of that. And, of course, the broccoli, you know, which you did a little extra treat on for me. Let's see here. This is the Catalina swordfish, okay? Let me see. One moment. Well, I definitely like the, no, I definitely like the, wait a second. The swordfish, no. The cat, no, this is the, I want to try some of this over here. Okay. This is the sea scalp, right? This
Yes,
is the
sir.
sea scalp. This has the little, Well, John Cannon, eat your heart out. Mother always liked you best, but look how I ended up. Oh, Dale, thank you so very, very much.
Sir, thank you.
Outstanding. And I also want to take time, you know, to take Janine Hawthorne, who's a manager here at the Fish Market, and also to thank all the chefs and everyone else associated with the restaurant and helping us make this thing happen for you guys. It's not just for me. It's for me right now, but it's going to be for you guys and helping you reach your goals. I'm going to be right back to wrap up the Power Hour, so don't go away. There's still a little bit more coming at you. Hi, everybody, and welcome back. Well, I guess all you can say about that is, wow. The menu over at the Fish Market is fantastic. Well, I know where I'm going to be this weekend. Over there enjoying some of the 3-2 specialties offered over at the Fish Market at 18th Street and Camelback. Well, there you have it. What a show. Some interesting things, and I've enjoyed bringing them to you. The 3-2 is such a fabulous plan. I mean, it's so simple, isn't it? I think that's its key point. It's simplicity. And the fact that it works is not a bad thing either. Lean source protein, fresh green vegetables, fruit, lots of water. A little bit of juice if you want. You can't go wrong with that. I tell you what. You know, if you guys have got some stories about your success with the 3-2, hey, email those to me as well. I'd love to hear about your successes. In fact, we'll share them with other people here on the Power Hour. Now, but if you're thinking about getting started, or if you're thinking about the 3-2 and you're not sure if it'll work for you, I've got something for you. Consider this as you go through your week. We've all heard the saying, if you fail to plan, you plan to fail. And this is very, very true. At least 80% of all new business startups in America fail due to one of two reasons. Number one, being undercapitalized, and two, lacking a detailed business plan. Now, once you have the detailed plan of action, there's only one thing to do. Get started. Accept that your plan probably has some flaws in it. In other words, it won't be perfect the first time around. Don't worry about that. Avoid the tendency of giving into perfectionitis. One of the chief hallmarks of the successful man or woman is that they have learned to accept feedback and make course corrections along the way. People who want to lose weight, save money, quit smoking, or whatever it may be, don't get started because they say they don't know how to do it. You don't have to know how you're going to get there, but you need to know where you want to go. You just need to know what you want. You need a crystal clear picture of what you want to have, be, or do. Operate off of a picture of the outcome that you seek. Visualize your arrival. When you do that, everything you need to get there just seems to come to you. You probably have already the experience and the resources available to you. The only thing missing is for you to get started. Don't start worrying about everything that's involved in getting from where you are to where you want to go. Forget about it. Just get started. Once you get started, you'll be amazed at how fast you'll move ahead and how simple and graceful the process is. For now, all you need is an aiming point and action. Oh, one other thing you'll need. Learn from your mistakes along the way and keep moving. Continue the pursuit. Every step you take in this process builds your self-esteem and makes you want to scream, I know I can do this. I know I can do this. And I know you can do it. It's a very powerful statement to make to someone you love or to yourself. I know you can do it. Well, listen, on behalf of John Cannon, my co-host, and the entire staff of the Power Hour, thank you for watching, and be sure and tune in again next week.